If you're doing a show about greatness and it's about football, well, guess what? You can't do it without Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. In his 10th Super Bowl appearance, he's done the unthinkable. He transitioned to a new team, and he's brought them within one game of the Lombardi Trophy in their home stadium, which no one's ever done before. I couldn't wait to sit down with Tom and discuss his leadership, longevity, and legacy. Tom, good to see you. This is going to be awesome, isn't it? Tom, I've talked to a lot of the guys, and I just want to know, how do you define greatness?
You know, there's a lot of different elements that lead you to, different levels of success. And I think for me, I've always tried to be very consistent and dependable, and knowing that the team was going to get a certain level of performance out of me every day, not just in the games, but in practice as well, because they need to count on me, and they got to trust me. It's something that's really earned, and I think you got to show up every day with a great attitude, with a great commitment to winning. There's really no days off, and that carries from spring workouts, summer workouts, Wednesday during week 4, or it could be the week of the Super Bowl. There's an intensity to what we're trying to accomplish, and if you want to be truly great, you got to bring it every day.
Now, I love that. Let me take you back in time. Super Bowl 36, before the final drive, one of the great announcers ever, John Madden, he goes, "They don't have good field position. I think they should just play for overtime here." And right then I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, if only John Madden knew Tom Brady had the ball. Tom Brady has the ball. Would you ever play for overtime when Tom Brady has the ball? I just laugh sometimes because I remember that. And so anytime I'm talking about a young quarterback, I'm thinking, you just never know. But I want to know you. What were you thinking going on the field at that point?
That was a big moment, I think, for all of us. I think for me, it's so much of what I had, done in college prepared me for that moment, too. And even though it was my second year in the league, I didn't feel like the moment was too big. I had played at Michigan. There was 100,000+ fans at all of our home games. We played Ohio State every year. We played in the Orange Bowl. I won, a lot of big games. So in a lot of ways, I thought, oh, this is just a continuation of college. We go on the field, got a chance to win, going to go make the plays to win. And I had a bunch of teammates that really came through in the clutch. And, some lesser-known players, J.R. Redmond made some spectacular plays. Obviously, Jermaine Wiggins caught the last little snag route where I clocked it. And Troy Brown made a catch on an in-cut, got behind the will linebacker in cover 2, and got us out of bounds. And, of course, Adam made the kick.
Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good! It's good! It's good! And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions, the best team in the National Football League!
I have such a vivid memory of all those things because I feel like I'm still living those moments, and I'm still on the practice field every day with my teammates, and, I've really never had to grow up. So 43 years old, and I still feel like I'm a teenage kid in a high school locker room just going out and playing football with my friends.
So let's talk about Super Bowl 38. You scored 37 points in the 4th quarter. I mean, you even got Vrabel in there.
Seymour, the fullback, offset right, play action fake, Brady, fires, touchdown! Touchdown in the end zone, Joe Vrabel!
It was a great game, and what I remember about that game was it was very, very hot in that dome, and there was a lot of intensity, and once the dam broke, the dam broke. And it was just a free-for-all because the guys were exhausted. By the time of the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl, man, you're gassed. And it's hard to slow teams down. And if you look at all the Super Bowls, 01, 2-minute drive where they could say 03, 04, 14, the dam broke. 16, the dam broke. 18, the dam broke.
I mean, the key in some ways is never give away the game. I mean, look at Super Bowl against Atlanta. You're down 28-3, but in your brain, that's like, okay, this defense can't keep this up. They're not going to be able to continue to rush the same way, and you have an edge there.
Sure. Pass rush coverage, the one thing that's unique about offensive football versus defense is, they can rotate pass rushers, they can't really rotate secondary players. I mean, most teams don't. If you're a starting corner, you're out there the whole game. Well, receivers can go in and out. You know, you got 5 receivers that play, so typically I think the receivers can stay fresher than the secondary players, but the D-line, you know, if you can get them going, you know, they can wear down as well. The game's not over at the end of the first quarter, you know? It's a long football game. You're going up against the best teams. You just got to expect that it's going to go down to the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And whoever sometimes has the ball last is the team that wins the game. And I've been in a part of those in the good times and the bad times. You know, more good than bad, but still regret those bad ones a little bit. You know, it's still, you know, pissed me off a little.
Coming up, my conversation with Tom Brady continues, and I promise you, no punches are pulled. I really can't help but think that that Super Bowl against the Giants may have been one of the toughest losses of your career.
Brady takes the snap, back to pass, steps up, heaves one deep down the left sideline,
And it is incomplete.
and that is it. The New York Giants have knocked off the New England Patriots 17-14. The Patriots will not be perfect. They were for 18 games, but not the 19.
The Patriots' season is over, unfulfilled at the end.
I really can't help but think that that Super Bowl against the Giants may have been one of the toughest losses of your career because you had the team that no one could ever touch. And when I say that, I mean, you could have been 19-0 and you set every record with statistics that year. I can't help but think as a competitor that one actually hurts.
That would have been, yeah, that's the Tiger Woods winning at the U.S. Open by 15 strokes or whatever. You know, you still talk about it however many years later. And I think that 2017, we had beaten some incredible teams that year. We beat you guys. You guys were undefeated. You guys were a spectacular football team. Play you in the Dome. You know, it was a good game, but we pulled away in the end. We beat the Giants at home last week of the year. It's just in the end, you know, the one game that mattered for the most, we just came up short. Really, I give the Giants a lot of credit because they earned it. Eli made some clutch plays. They had a few lucky bounces. They had a helmet catch. But give him credit. Give him credit. Reluctantly, I'll give him credit.
I mean, there's toughness in how you play the game. And people don't realize your toughness is just, you're so calm in the pocket. And there's chaos around you. And I don't know exactly how to define it for people because you're obviously the greatest who's walked. But I think it's because you're so focused on the details. I mean, your throwing motion.
Yeah. And such an obsessive part, you know, for me in passing the football is, you know, I'd say in some ways I'm a very simple person, you know. If I'm really thinking about what I love about football, I love releasing the football and just seeing the perfect pass and the perfect amount of rotation on the football and the perfect ball placement with the perfect timing. And you just wake up in the morning thinking about how can I do that again, you know? And you'd be surprised at how often it doesn't happen. You know, I think that's what people don't realize is, you know, there's, you know, 90% of the time the ball doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. Now, my misses, I would say, might be 4 inches off, not 4 feet off. And a lot of people would say, oh, it was a great throw. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I was kind of aiming for his left shoulder, hit his right shoulder. You know, I got to stay inside more and I got to reach more to my target, or I got to keep my weight back a little more, or, you know, got to get my foot strike down a little faster, you know, and that's what I'm processing on every throw. So there's almost an obsessive compulsive part of me that, you know, is part of the game. And I'm very fortunate. I love the sport, so it allows me to work really, I wouldn't even say hard, just work fun.
I mean, your throwing motion, I don't think people really realize it's an incredible thing to see up close. It's one of those things that's so pure. Everything was just sequenced so perfect. And it's hard to describe to people because you're just throwing a football. But if you study it and you try and do it your whole life, you're like, wow, that's where you're trying to attain.
I'm dreaming of the perfect throw. And the perfect throw at the perfect time. And even when people go, oh, it's a great throw, I'm thinking, oh, it's just a foot right of where I wanted it to be, you know? And then every once in a while, I'm like, damn, that was good. You know, just do that every time.
But that right there shows people the commitment you've had to your craft day in, day out, because you can't attain that if you're not obsessed trying to perfect that. And it was a beautiful thing in its prime. And I think you're still doing it.
I'm excited, bud.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Have a great game.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Somehow, Tom Brady is playing for a record 7th Super Bowl win. Patrick Mahomes is playing to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Who's the last quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls? Tom Brady. There's no question that this is poised to be an incredible matchup between the greatest of all time and the greatest right now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.